There was a piece I think I was reading in the Wall Street Journal last night about that Joe Biden remembers back in 2016 when he was basically forced by the Democrat Party, and questions remain whether he would have won anyway, after Barack Obama, that he was basically forced to step aside so Hillary Clinton could take on Donald Trump, which obviously she was unsuccessful. So maybe he feels, hey, I've been pushed aside before and it wasn't successful. I'm going to do it my way this time. Could there be much truth to that?
Well, that is a true story. I mean, he got dumped in favor of Hillary, who made a mess of it. But it's a little late to be making up for that because he's in worse condition. I mean, you can still see that he has trouble putting his words together. I mean, today I watched him refer to Zelensky as Putin, and he referred to Kamala Harris as
Yeah.
Trump. I mean, cripes, he doesn't know what stage he's on. I mean, it's let's put it this way, Pete. If you, me, or any of the Australian people were on an airplane and he were the pilot, I think we'd all be getting off the plane and waiting for the next one.
Yeah,
he's just not the commander in chief, or he's not in charge of the plane, or I mean, imagine a guy like this in charge of a train. I mean, you'd be off a train. I mean,
yeah,
he's lost it, but the party's given up on him, Pete. That's the thing we have to make clear. The party's given up on him.
So, when does Barack Obama say something publicly?
Oh, real certain. A number of the shows here in Washington are suggesting that President Biden, he might even have, he might decide to give up the ghost in the next couple days. And they're talking about the occasion where he receives a medal at the Lyndon Johnson Library in Austin, Texas, that he might make a surprise announcement. But, one of the interesting things tonight is he's no longer saying that I'm no longer open for discussion. He kept quarreling with the various journalists about what the data was, et cetera. He seems he's very cognizant that they're coming after him, as a matter of fact. And look, I watched the 50-minute thing, and most of the journalists there asked softball questions. He didn't have any difficult journalist questions.
No.
And so in a sense, that was rigged. But look, it hasn't fooled anybody. I mean, Donald Trump is still about $2.50, maybe $3 to win. And I think Donald Trump's numbers get less and less in terms of the betting, and President Biden gets longer and longer. Look, Pete, we're going to have a new president in November, and it ain't going to be the return of Joe Biden. No. It's going to be Donald Trump, and all the European leaders here know that there's a change in the wind, and they're going to have to make adjustments.
Yeah, I'll have one more with you. I mean, further to that point, just commented to Annalise about the fact that Fox's Peter Doocy didn't get a question today, and he's probably been, the best reporter on the beat, holding his feet to the fire properly. Just a final one here on Kamala Harris. There was a couple of questions on her where he said that she is qualified to be president. That's why I picked her. Do you think, once he eventually steps aside, that it is going to be her? Is it a foregone conclusion? Or do they have, some kind of swift runoff debate before selecting, say, a Newsom or a Whitmer or any of those types, or Wes Moore even?
Well, I think Newsom and others will have to wait for the next election. Look, when he rolls over, she'll become automatically the candidate for a very simple reason, Pete. She's the only one entitled to the campaign money, okay?
Right.
And she's kind of a proud woman, too. Look, all the polls say that she isn't going to do much. She wouldn't do much better than Biden anyway. And, it's very clear to me that Joe Biden is gone, and Kamala Harris doesn't have enough oomph to beat Donald Trump, and no one has enough faith in her. And this idea that he chose her because she was a winner, I mean, that's not exactly true. He chose her to balance the tickets. The fact that she might become president one day would be the furthest thing from his mind. But Kamala Harris isn't going to give up the ghost here. I mean, she'd like to be president of the United States. Pete, I'd like to have played right field for the New York Yankees, but it didn't work out.
Joe Siracusa, good to have you with us this morning. Thank you very much, and safe travels home.